Hello, Internet, and welcome to Game Theory, the only show which has been proving that the election of 2008 has been rigged since the election of 2008. Let's get right into it. So, this video is basically going to be going over what I believe the current story of Obama Clicker is. This is mostly just speculation, but I will let you know. Well, that's a lie. It's mostly based in fact, but like placing everything in the order that it did, that's mostly speculation. So I'll definitely be going over that and some theories that I have about some of the bigger questions in the series so far. So without any further ado, let's get right into it. So we're going to start off first with the pre-2008 era, so even before the election of 2008, where Obama hires a employee to originally the job offering was basically to be a secretary, which is the role that Circle Guy, the employee who you play as through most of the series. That's where he basically, in the pre-2008 era, he gets hired to be Obama's secretary, but unfortunately for him, his job completely evolves and changes over the next few years. And once the cloning factory business starts up, the job of the employee completely changes. After that, we have the 2008 period, where obviously the election of 2008 happens, which is a very large turning point in the series. Obama really starts to pick up the cloning business so he can completely flood the votes with blue votes for Obama and completely swamp McCain. And although McCain does manage to kidnap 4 Obamas, which are clones specifically designed to stop McCain, I think it says, something along those lines. They may have been cloned to be hitmen, they may have been cloned to try and sabotage him some other way, I'm not really sure, but they were clones specially designed to stop McCain. And he takes them and he tries to figure out if he can reverse engineer them at all to see if he can create his cloning operation, but as we know, he is unsuccessful in this, obviously, because it's pretty hard to re-engineer a cloning machine when all you have is a clone. So unfortunately, that does not work out for him. McCain becomes very upset by this, and he tries to attack and kill Obama, which he is unsuccessful at because Circle Guy, the employee that Obama has working under him, is able to defeat him, and they take him to the insane asylum, which I believe is within the White House walls, and basically they hold him there until in 2016 when Mitt Romney comes to his rescue, and they break out of the insane asylum together. And now what happens after that is a little bit iffy. They kill the Obama pyramid, obviously that happens, and then they take the DMT, which I'm not sure how that helps them escape, but it does, and they get out, and either they see the future or we completely leave their perspective. But then we get the screen that's flashing different colors, and it says, "A terrible tragedy has occurred at the presidential debate tonight," which obviously is confirmed in Four Nights at Obama's. Since it's happening in 2016 and they know that there's going to be a presidential debate in 2016, they realize that they have to stop this terrible tragedy from happening, which will, of course, terribly injure Trump. And so they come up with a plan to try and stop Obama from unleashing this havoc on the presidential campaign. And basically the way that they decide to go about this is they try and break into the cloning factory, which they know is in the White House, and they try to do this for 4 nights until something completely changes on the 5th night, and we'll get into that in a second. But they, of course, have no idea how to they don't know how to stop the cloning operation at all. And even worse is the fact that Circle Guy, who is now the night guard at the factory, is trying to stop them the entire time. And while they're trying to do this, they come back every single night, which is a terrible idea by them. And they're eventually caught by Circle Guy, of course, on the first night at around 12. And Circle Guy reports this to Obama, of course, and Obama kind of lets them go for a little bit, but of course we'll get into what happens to them in a little bit. So on the the beginning of the fourth night, like the daytime of the fourth night, Obama is in the White House with the cloning factory that he has installed in the Oval Office, and he creates the biggest, most powerful clone ever. Like, he is huge, like 12 feet tall. He creates this clone in the White House since McCain and Romney are too focused on the actual cloning factory, and this thing just comes out of the cloning machine, and Obama literally tells it, "Go, put yourself on the ballot," but I don't think it's really intelligent enough to understand. It only ever says one word, and that's its name, Obama. So it literally walks out of the White House to go straight to the presidential debate, goes straight through two people in the parking lot, bulldozes a security guard who I believe Trump hired to protect him, since he knows what happened to McCain and Mitt Romney. Well, I'm not sure if anything really happened to Mitt Romney other than him just losing the election of 2012 because he didn't have a cloning machine. But that's besides the point. So he destroys Trump's security guard, destroys 4 more people on the way in, and eventually he reaches Trump himself, who Trump, oddly enough, confuses for Obama, which is weird since Obama is 12 feet tall, canonically, which is an ungodly height, but Trump survives the attack, which is miraculous given how everyone else died, and he's in the hospital, and he calls Obama and says that it's ridiculous that he's even trying to do this still, that he's even running, because of course it is, you can't serve a third term, but I guess he's still trying to run. He might be able to do it. I guess we'll see in a future game. And then after Trump tells Obama to leave, Obama obviously doesn't listen. He just runs straight through Trump, sends him to the hospital, and then Obama leaves, which is confirmed by the news reporter, which says that the person or thing is still the suspect. I guess it says is still on the loose. And what I think happens is on the day after that, after the presidential debate, they lure Obama back into the factory, and that's where they're keeping it. And Obama kind of sees this as a 2-in-1 because number one, they can't find the suspect anymore because he's in a secret part of the White House which nobody has clearance to other than Circle Guy and Joe Biden. And the second one is it kills Mitt Romney and McCain on night 5. Now, there's a few reasons I believe this. Number one, Mitt Romney and John McCain are supposed to be, they've been breaking into the White House every day for 4 days before this and trying to destroy the factory, which I guess they are unsuccessful at, so that might be a reason why they stopped coming in, but at the same time, I don't feel like after 4 days, you're kind of too deep, so I don't understand why they stop on the 5th day. So what I believe happened is they were breaking into the factory again at 12 o'clock, and Obama was there, and he saw them, and he did the same thing that he did to Trump when he saw them, and just completely destroyed them. And Joe Biden comes in, and he sweeps up the remains of poor John McCain and Mitt Romney, and puts it in a box, which he later shows to Circle Guy, and says to him, because he had to have seen the whole thing unfold on the cameras, and he says, "You didn't see anything." And later, at the end of Circle Guy's shift, he's forced to sign an NDA, either with force, like being held at gunpoint, or just threatening to fire him from his job, which is probably pretty well paying based on everything that he has to do and who his boss is, the President of the United States. So it's probably a pretty good job for him. They use that to basically just scare him and keep it quiet because obviously people who are problematic for Obama are just literally given the axe. So definitely would not want to mess with him. Now we are talking about after 2016, which is it's not heavily covered in the series like in stone yet. So this part is going to be completely speculation by me. So basically, what I think about it is after the election of 2016, whatever happens, whoever wins, I'm not sure, but McCain is dead, obviously. Mitt Romney's dead. Obama is tripping on LSD for some reason. Maybe being president for a third time in a row is pretty hard. I know that Franklin Roosevelt said that it was pretty hard, so I guess it must be. And Obama literally sees, like, in his hallucinations, or maybe it is just like a divine message, he sees McCain in hell, where McCain tells him, now you'll finally get what you deserve. So this definitely confirms that Obama has done some horrible things to McCain, and it confirms that McCain probably died, and Obama's feeling guilty about it, because we know in Obama Clicker LSD you are playing as Obama. So even if McCain wasn't actually dead, it would confirm, essentially, that, well, not confirm, but it gives me reason to believe that McCain was killed by Obama at some point. Now, we don't know when Obama Clicker LSD takes place. We know very little about the game, but regardless of that, this is just what I believe. We also get a Easter egg in Four Nights at Obama's where it shows that 2 people in 2024 have been hanged outside of the White House. Well, I don't know if it's outside of the White House because it's not very descriptive, the picture. I'll probably throw it up on the video, but it just shows 2 people hanging from a tree, and I don't know who this is yet because it doesn't, like, we don't have a lot to work off of, but in the ARG, there is a sort of, it's what it sounds like, some kind of metal monster, like metal, like, so there's a lot of, like, metal screeching, and then, like, some, like, a robot, or, like, a robotic monster scream, so that gives me reason to believe that maybe Obama started making, like, cyborg clones, and the cyborg clone hung these 2 people who, for pure convenience, I'm calling Idiot and Nimrod because that's what it says on their face. But, that, we don't know who they are yet. That's just what I'm thinking about them. Obviously, they have to be enemies of the Democrats, either Joe Biden or Obama. So that's really all we have to work off of. One thing that I do want to touch on before we continue is one problem that this theory doesn't answer is the scene where McCain and Romney are getting out of the White House. There's like grass and a blue sky, and I like can't explain that at all. I'll throw a picture of it on the video. So that's definitely one of the things that's still in the air. Next, we're going to talk about what the theory does well. So obviously the theory explains why McCain and Romney are in the Four Nights at Obama's factory. It reveals the contents of the box, which is huge given how little we have to go off of it. It is kind of like a little bit on the head with the answer because like 2 out of like 4 of the main characters are now in this box, so that might be a little bit on the head. It explains why McCain and Romney disappear, which is like, that was a big question for me personally. It connects all of the Obama ending, the DMT ending, and the Four Nights at Obama's ending all together very nicely, which I was very much struggling to do beforehand, so it establishes both Joe and Circle Guy's roles in the story, which I think is important as well. And basically it just creates a pretty concise, clean story without making any huge jumps, which I think is pretty good. Things that it does poorly. It explains, I've talked about what I have on the slide a lot. It makes a few stretches, which is kind of unavoidable given how little information we have right now. It does assume a lot about McCain and Romney, trying like what they do once they get out of the White House, like trying to get back into the factory. It makes, I don't know what's up with the DMT scene. We talked about that earlier, but I don't understand why DMT would reveal the future if that's what that did. I might be interpreting that scene wrong, but it doesn't make any sense of Obama Clicker LSD either, which is obviously one of the only 4 games in the series. So if it did make sense of that, that would be good, but it just doesn't because that game is a little all over the place to say the least. One thing that I didn't quite understand that didn't kind of fit into this theory was the mention of Obama being 12 feet tall, which is kind of weird, given that his depiction, at least compared to Trump, they're like roughly the same size. Like maybe Obama's like a foot or 2 taller, but I don't know if Obama could be 12 feet, but I'm just gonna assume that he is, just for simplicity of things. I'm also going to, I want to bring up something that was talked about while I was talking to Obama Clicker Dev. So we talked about how you are killed by Obama in Four Nights at Obama's, and you're killed by Obama at Four Nights at Obama's. He didn't confirm that the person who attacks you through the hallway and vents was Obama. In fact, that was one of the things that he kind of asked me about, like, hey, why do you believe that? So that was a point of contention, but I want to talk about Obama's appearance in Four Nights at Obama's. So it's weird for 2 reasons, because he appears to be as tall as the doorway, which is probably like, I don't imagine it's 12 feet tall, but I guess it's possible. And he's also able to fit in the vents, which is really weird to me because I've never seen a vent that could house a person that's 12 feet tall, you know? So that's a little weird to me. This slide basically just saying what we know about Obama Clicker LSD. This game is different because you actually get to play as Obama for the first time in the series, which is, hopefully, it'll be a huge factor in deciphering the lore later on in the series. I think it depicts the events after 2016, maybe even in 2024, because it shows in the ARG, which isn't canon, but we're just gonna mention it. It depicts the deaths of Idiot and Nimrod, which did happen in 2024, and it depicts John McCain in hell, which we know had to have happened at least after 2016, or the presidential debate in 2016, because John McCain was present to the presidential debate. Well, he was present at least the day of, like the morning of, because that was when Romney and McCain were they were there at least to break out. They weren't dead until after the election of 2008, obviously. We don't know when they broke out, but they definitely broke out after the election of 2008 because that was when McCain was captured. Things I suspect about the game. I think that it's pretty much just a cryptic game about stuff we really don't understand yet. I'm sure in time it'll be revealed as, like, all the parts of the game will probably be revealed as different symbols for something that happens later on in the series. So that's probably what's going to happen. And one more thing that I did almost forget to talk about was something that I almost didn't even pay any mind to until I was talking to the Obama Clicker dev again. And we talked about the door, which says "Do not enter" in the Obama cloning factory, which is extremely weird. You have a place as secure as the White House, and you have a secret part of the White House which exists, the cloning factory, that is. And on another layer on top of that, you have the cloning the cloning factory has a door which says "Do not enter." Like, that is, whatever's behind that door must be more dangerous than what's in Arkham Asylum, because that is wild. Like, who could go in this door? Obama, definitely. Circle Guy, That's a maybe. I'm not even gonna count him because there's no way. He's the only one who works there, so like, he's probably the only one who would be in the building without clearance to the do not enter door. What is behind that door? That is completely up in the air. The only thing that I can think of is possibly a dangerous or unstable Obama clone. It could be Obama dodecahedron, which we only see in the we see it in the first game, Obama Clicker. We see maybe it was originally used to hold Obama Pyramid as well, which would make sense because he also seems to be aggressive the way that he screeches when he sees McCain and Romney. And it could also be used to house the Obama Cube, which appears only in the ARG, so it's not really canon, but we're just going to pretend it is. Or it could even be used to house Obunga, since I guess Obunga's canon, since he showed up in the first game. But maybe that could be the... what's it called? The insane asylum that they keep John McCain in. We don't have a lot to go off of, but I guess it would make sense if John McCain came out of the do not enter door with Mitt Romney, and then they fought the Obama pyramid. I guess that would make sense. But I don't know. I guess at this point it's just almost complete speculation. But yeah, that's basically the what I have made of the story so far. So I sincerely hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you've made it this far, smash that swag button just like you bought America in the original Obama Clicker game. And that is just a theory. A game theory. Thanks so much for watching.